So after that little bit of a preamble, how to maximise students' opportunities to succeed in the subject is perhaps one of the things as an educator we always want to have. With benchmarking, as we are marking the major, this year we are marking the major project and moderating the minor projects. The first part is you need to know what the curriculum statement says, and every year we will get 2 or 3 teachers who teach completely outside of it. And of course we try to then come back to the learning outcomes, which is on the very first page here. We are looking at trying to generate student creativity and tailor it to their own interests, and the course has been focused that way. So the 3 important parts, MIDI, analog recording or digital recording as we're now calling it, and loops and waves are the 3 areas of skills that people will need to develop. They don't need all 3 of them, but they've got those options and choices. Many students who are successful in the subject tend to cross over between a mixed project. Not all of them, but many of them choose to record a band, then add in some extra loops at some point, and then in turn tend to add perhaps some sort of MIDI instruments or virtual instruments, just to sweeten things up. That usually takes a different mindset, and we'll be focusing upon the mindset that students who approach this subject from a production point of view, or as a producer who is working with is creating a piece of music, whether it be using other people to play the instruments, but is then shaping and moulding it to suit the criteria of the assessment, in addition to exploring and creating interesting pieces of work that are musically and stylistically sensitive as well as expressive. Minor project number 1, isn't it a lot of fun? There are 2 sheets, those 2. If we use our magic little rubric, which is really just a curriculum document, this says section for it. Is that yours?
So this is the commentary, both of the commentaries? The same?
There's 2 different projects.
One's
a higher mark than the other.
Right.
Is that diplomatic?
Yeah.
Minor project. And this is a great example of, if you can give someone some imagination, they put a fictional cop thing.
Right.
And I reckon it's a great notion of have a reason to do a minor project and you'll get ideas. And in that case there, clearly there's microphone recording and all sorts of things. It's hard to say. It's probably a flute that's been played by someone that comes in there. There's a little bit of sloppiness going on, but the creativity is clearly there. Some of the layering, gee, the tom rolls, well, I don't know whether it's our speakers or anything like that. They certainly take off. But for a minor project, there's a lot there that you can say, yeah, I can see how that's heading towards a major project. Okay, they've had to work out how to mic the drums, and the toms have to be controlled somehow. Whether there's enough gating, I suppose would be a good term, whether it's controlling the spill. Probably the headphones would be a little bit clearer. But there's some sophistication in it. And that's a good example of a project. Here's another one. This is actually from the same student. I just reckon it's quirky. This is a TV ad. You will find a fire shine, all of Carwa's land. Come on down to Nico's. Yeah, we'll do the best we can. Come on down to Nico's this week, and with a full shine, massive polish, we'll throw in some booze and chicks. That's right, booze and chicks, only at Nico's. You can't go wrong with humour, can you? I can't remember what what the actual nominated devices were in any of that. But it just stands out that that's the sort of imagination we want to have people having the opportunity of just exploring. Okay, it's got to be worth marks, and we're very happy for them just to record anything they like. That's fantastic. But if, as this is a subject, you could still tailor that and shape it so that it maximises the outcome for the student. And it's just creative stuff. And if you can get that across to the kids and have a reason, you know, okay, you're going to do a Jean-Michel Jarre thing, and it could be a cat food ad or something or other, but you're going to use this electronica sound, rather than, it's a panning exercise. Come on, you know what panning exercises should sound like. You'll get, we're after depth with major projects. There is no minimum duration. There's a maximum of 5. Generally, the 3.5 minute pop song is kind of what the recording covering the Black Keys song Set You Free. I chose this song because I had a clear idea of how I wanted the song to sound and how to be produced, and also had been jamming to this song with a bandmate for almost a year without being able to do anything with it. So he's found a reason, which is nice. We generally find we get more description with these because they've got a few more words. You know. The song itself is a blues rock song by a duo, and I decided to replicate the 2-person recording, which would allow me to demonstrate my ability to overdub parts, as the song required 4 instruments and a vocal recording. The original song was lacking a bass line, and I decided to add depth to the track by writing and recording my own bass line. Yeah, that's good. We'll see how well it sounds. The first session of the recording we did for this song was a drums and bass recording, and we did 6 takes of the songs, but I was only able to salvage 1 take worth of recording material from this due to technical difficulties experienced with the setup of the mixing desk and my computer. I always smile when people put that in. You just go, yeah, okay. One of the things we do like to see is pre-production. And sometimes, and that probably gives us an indication here already of the pre-production. They've tried recording it once, learnt from their mistakes or learnt from the experience, and tried again.